This is a demonstration how to use a Vlookup in Excel. So Vlookup is the other name for Vlookup is vertical lookup, and we use it to refer to data from multiple tables. So in this case here, as you see, we have a table for the maintenance, like a costing report, where we have different contractors, and then we have a daily rate, monthly rate, as well as an annual rate. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to take the contractors tab, which is just here, and then match the values with the contractor name, and from this table we want to bring the actual daily rate, the monthly rate, and the annual rate. So going back into the maintenance table, the first contractor is Sunrise International. So looking into the contractor table, if we have to match the figure, we'll have to find the actual contractor name, which is Sunrise International, and then depending on which column we want to use the data, we'll have to specify the column number. So basically, if it was the daily rate, it would be the second column. If it was the monthly rate, that would be the third column, and the annual rate would be the fourth column. So how we do the Vlookup? So basically, Vlookup has a set of parameters. We have the lookup value, which means what value we want to match. In this case, it will be the Sunrise International. The table array is always the second table. So basically, it's this table here. And when we select the table, we don't have to highlight the first line. So, and the third option would be the column to search. So basically, if we want the daily rate, we'll have to specify column 2, and like we said before, monthly rate would be third column, and the annual rate would be the fourth column. So let's do the Vlookup. We'll select the cell first. We'll go into the fx, which is the function box, and from that list we will select Vlookup. Now just in case you don't have the Vlookup on the list, you might have to go at the top here and look for lookup and reference. But in this case, we know we want the Vlookup, and we just click on OK. So lookup value, you will see there's a description at the bottom. It's telling us it's the value to be found in the first column of the table. Yeah, so which means which value you're trying to match. So I will select the Sunrise International. My table array is the table of data where the information is being retrieved. So I will go into the contractors table, and I will select my list of data. Now what I mentioned before is you don't have to select the first line. Yeah, so you don't need to select the first line. Column index, again, if I click into the column index box, is the column where the data is found. So daily rate is the second column, so I put 2. And then the range lookup, usually it's if you don't sort your data, you would have to specify false. So I will type in false, and then I will click on OK. So 230 is my daily rate. Going back into my contractor, so Sunrise is having 230, yeah, as the daily rate. So if you just have a pound or euro in the other column, it's just because this column is actually formatted into a euro figure. So I might actually select everything and then change that to a pound. So I just click at the top here, and I use the UK pound. Yeah, so like this. So if I want to do the monthly rate, again I do the fx. I look for the Vlookup. Lookup value again is my Sunrise International, which is my first data I want to match. Table array. I go into the table and I select everything again, and the column index would be In this case, the monthly rate is the third column, and the range lookup, once more, it's false. Now remember, if the data is not sorted, you would be using false into the range lookup. Annual rate, again I do the FX, I look for the VLOOKUP. Sunrise International, my lookup value, my table array once more is going to be my contractor table, which is here. And finally, my annual rate is the fourth column and false in the range lookup. Now if I want to copy this formula down, I will have to make sure that I make the table array to be absolute. So I just click between the B and the 3 and I put a $sign. Same thing between the E and the 5 and I will put a $sign here. And I will have to do the same thing for all the other columns. Yeah, so I'll just fix the cell so that they are always absolute. And similarly for the annual rate. So going here, the $sign, and here also the $sign. So now I can copy the formula. So I can select all the 3 columns and I double click onto the fill handle box, and that will automatically give me the daily rate, the monthly rate, and the annual rate for all the other columns. Yeah, so remember the VLOOKUP, if I click onto the FX again, it will show me my lookup value, my table array, the column index, and false if we don't have the values sorted. So this is a small demonstration as to how to use the VLOOKUP into Excel.